The Body Shop connects you with the hottest fitness models in the world. Learn the backstage secrets that most successful bikini divas, fitness models, and bodybuilders use to dominate their competition and land on the covers of magazines. Only here at the Body Shop will we allow you to listen and talk to the best of the best in fitness competition. If you're passionate about bodybuilding and fitness, you have found your new home. All of us here at FTNS Radio would like to welcome you to the Body Shop.
Body Shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your host, Andre Brick St. Clair.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Body Shop. Thank you for allowing the Body Shop and FTNS into your homes and into your airwaves. Only here on the Body Shop will you find out the backstage secrets that some of the most successful bikini divas, models, and bodybuilders use to not just dominate, but completely crush their competition. With me in the studio, as always, Mr. Brian Canone.
Andre, what's happening?
How you doing today, B?
Doing okay.
You doing all right?
Doing okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things good. Things good.
I'm worried about you sometimes, you know?
Why is that?
I don't know. You know, like sometimes you come in here, you look down, other times you're up.
Sometimes I'm tired.
You know, it happens.
I'm tired, man.
It happens. Are you tired today?
Not that bad, no, I'm all right, you know, but a lot of things, you know, we're working on a lot of things. You got, you know, the World Championships coming up.
August 27th?
So, August 27th, Toronto. So, you know, between that, I'm doing a lot of time on Facebook, helping Paul Dillette promote the event.
Right.
We took all the pros in that throughout the WBFF, and we're in communicating with each one,
right,
which is very, very unique. You know, there's not another federation that I know of that would take the time to individually speak to every pro in their league.
Right.
I don't know of any that do it. You know, we've been doing this forever. You know, then what we did is we took every professional's photo and we incorporated it into their individual poster.
Correct.
So every professional in the show has their own poster emailed back to them in high res. They can print it out as an 8x10. They can go larger if they want. They can use those. You know, it's really nice. It says, you know, WBFF Pro. It has their name on it. Professional, you know, picture layout.
Right.
You know, imagine you could take that and just go to Kinko's and just print off photocopies of just like how many you want in color for like, you know, print them in probably 50 cents a piece or something, you know.
Well, it depends. Yeah.
You could pass those out to people. You promote yourself in a nice way. Every pro has the same layout design, but we made them for 100 pros.
Right.
So now you have 100 pros on Facebook with their icons matching. And then what we did is we updated everybody. We asked them, you know, update your name and put WBFF Pro, either beginning or last, you know. And then we created videos with all of those posters in them with some music behind it and built up a little bit of, you know, a promotion up to it where we tagged everybody in the video.
Right.
So all these pros are really getting all of this way that they're working together to promote themselves, really.
Right.
Along with the show. I mean, but it's a combined effort to say, you know what, we're going to promote the show, the contest, but we're promoting you as the star of the show. Okay. So, you know, those are the things, believe me, I've always tried to do this. I've always tried to take people from the show and give them as much as I can to put them out there and try to make them into some kind of star. The best I can, you know, and trying to step that up. But it's really hard when you don't have everybody working as a team together to understand what you're trying to do. Well, you get so many guys that just like, they get caught up in it that they want to be the star, you know, but it's a team effort where it takes the whole team to move this thing forward, you know, because what's going on now, I'm very proud of like what's going on right now compared to all the years of going through this, because there's always been this, you didn't have everybody on board with you. You know what it was, or what it is, I should say. A lot of athletes, and I'm going on record as well as on the radio to say this, are selfish. Yeah. They have this me
me attitude. What about me? You're not promoting me. Oh, well, why is this person picture all over the place? Well, this person is sending you high quality pictures. You're not sending Brian anything. You're not sending me anything.
No. How is somebody supposed to get promoted when they don't give you a picture?
Well,
it's I don't know what goes through their head sometimes, but it's like, some of the people that seem to be the most promoted are the ones that are really putting themselves out there, doing the most behind it.
Well, do you feel as though somebody that is not sending out those pictures and remaining humble, do you feel as though they can still be well known and well respected in the industry?
It's going to be hard. Because they're not keeping themselves relevant.
Okay.
They're not always staying in the picture.
Right.
You need to keep yourself in the picture. And that's why, I always say, competitors need to compete.
Right.
Because when you're not competing and you're where are you? How are people going to know what you're up to and where you're going and what's happening in your life and what are the things that are going on? That's the only reason I'm saying that, and I'm not doing it to say, anybody's not really stepping up. I just think people aren't guided. And what I talk in these conversations with Paul, and I say, nobody has a real leader. We did some big things throughout the year.
Right.
And we had some really good people that we really pushed out there, So some of the people that definitely have stuck around, have stood by us and are always there, part of the team. You probably name them on your hand.
Oh, I can, believe me. Like I said, a lot of these athletes are very, very superficial. They're very selfish, But then you get the ones who win show after show after show. And when they show up at the show, they're very humble. They walk around and you would never know, like, for instance...
There's a saying about that.
What is that saying?
Just the word professional.
No. Some people don't know how to be professional. But I have a caller on the line.
Probably one of the most... Hopefully you have this guy who's the most professional guy we've probably met.
Not only is he the most professional guy that we've ever met, he's also very humble. I know a lot of professionals that are cocky. Okay, so let's just, let's make sure we separate the two.
Yeah.
Right? But this guy is very, very humble. And he shares my birthday.
Oh.
Not only that, he's into the martial arts.
Yep.
As I am, and as everyone knows that. And believe it or not, we both competed the first time on your stage against each other in the light heavyweight category. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Body Shop, Mr. Universe himself, Mr. Hugh Ross. Big Hugh, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Thank you, brother. I'm good.
So how are you?
I'm cool, I'm good.
Yeah, you sound cool and good.
You sound relaxed. You must be in a hot tub.
Well, you can say that again. I don't know why people are complaining of the little warmth out there. It still feels kind of chilly to me.
You know what, Hugh? I agree with you 100% because I love the heat. Being from the West Indies, when the weather's 90 degrees, it just reminds me of being back home. Out here, the weather hits 70 and everybody's complaining. They got the AC on.
It was 97 today.
I didn't feel that.
Like a steam bath.
I didn't feel a part of that. I didn't feel one piece of that. Now, Hugh, let me give our listeners just a little bit of background about you, okay? And then I'm going to bring you on and we're just going to pick your brain. Is that cool with you?
Not a problem.
All right, here we go. Now, I don't even need to read anything, okay? Hugh Ross competed against me, right? In his first competition. It was also my first competition.
I remember that year, people looked at him like, that guy's in the novice.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember I saw him the night before. We was at the hotel, and he took his shirt off. I said, man, I'm going home. I said, this don't make no sense. Now, that was back in 2002, okay? And it was for the Fitness Atlantic competition. As you step,
there.
Yeah, right there at the Palace Theater. You know, you easily took the men's novice division, which I didn't like. Okay, then he took the men's novice overall, which was cool with me. He also won the men's masters. I believe that was in the over 40 class. So just so you guys understand where we're going with this. All right. He then came back in 2003, competed in the open division as a light heavyweight, won that class, and then went on to the overall title. He placed second to, you know, my boy Mo Mendez. Wasn't a problem because you just came back the next year and won that anyway. You know, Hugh Ross was born in Ghana, Africa.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Easy.
Yeah, I made that mistake at the beginning too.
I do remember that.
I did.
Okay. So, Hugh Ross. What's going on, my man? How you been, man?
Well, pretty easy. Been doing a lot of traveling recently. Mainly goodwill trips. Back in Guyana, I do lots of motivational speeches to school kids. I conduct lots of seminars for my less fortunate athletes friends. And I do the best I can to be of whatever help is within my capability to render to others.
Okay.
Now, do you know that Hugh Ross in Guyana, South America, is comparable to Michael Jordan here? Michael Jordan slash Rambo.
Slash Rambo, huh?
Slash Rambo.
Now, I know that to be true because I do know of all the promotions that goes on, and whenever Hugh puts on an event,
well, you know that
like it's always sold out.
They have the Arnold Classic here. Mm-hmm. They have the Hugh Ross Classic there.
That is true. That is very, very true. Hugh, how's your wife Allison doing?
She's quite fine. That's Dr. Allison for you.
Okay, doctor. I apologize. You know, the last I knew of her, I know she was a research coordinator, but I know she went and got the PhD, so I apologize about that.
That's correct.
Yeah, all right. Here we go.
I wish Hugh was sitting here because this is not doing justice to be on the phone at home. He needs to be sitting right here looking at this camera all jacked up and huge so that people can appreciate the soft-spokenness of this man.
Yeah, that is true.
What's his last name? Hugh Ross.
Hugh Ross. HUGHROSS.
Hugh Ross Bodybuilder in Google, and you'll see this massive behemoth shredded to the bone.
All right, Hugh, as Brian is talking about you being completely shredded, right? Let's talk a little bit about diet, nutrition, exercises, how you go about getting your workouts in, you know, because you're such a busy individual, and as you mentioned that you actually still do goodwill trips. So when do you find the time to train?
Basically, if you were to break it down per day, a day comprised 24 hours. Training is something that's personal. The way I look at it is dedicating an hour and a half exclusively to myself. Not even every 24 hours. Let's say 4 times weekly. I don't think that's asking too much. Everybody has this way of coming up with some excuse or the other as to why they cannot make it to the gym or to facilitate themselves any form of training. But if you were to look at the benefits, it enhances your health.
Right.
It makes you feel a whole lot better to cope with the other daily stress factors that are hurled at you. If done appropriately, it enhances longevity. What else can one ask for? And all that is required of you is an investment of 1 hour in every 24 hours?
Right.
I cannot come up with an excuse as to why I will refrain from giving that to myself. And further add, as it relates to competing, competitions are just a tool to keep me on track, per se. Winning is like icing on the cake.
Okay.
If you were to look at yourself on stage, nobody wants to go on stage looking not right. So the efforts that you put into make yourself stage ready, even if you were to bring dead last in your category, that's the very best that you will ever look at that period of time in your life.
Right.
So that's the way I view it.
All right, now.
So it's a win-win situation.
But you wasn't always a bodybuilder, because I know, much like myself, you have a background in powerlifting, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. When did you actually make the switch from powerlifting to bodybuilding?
Okay, I was a competitive powerlifter, and that also was not by choice. A very close friend of mine that I used to work out with in the gym was a competitive powerlifter, and I had the privilege of traveling around with him while he competed, so I started to meticulously make notes of the people in my weight category, what they were doing.
Right.
And it soon dawned upon me that the weight that they were competing with is what I usually train with in the gym. So, upon his prompting and encouragement, I decided to venture into that, and ended up being quite successful, to a point where I won the New York State Championships, Connecticut State Championships, New Jersey State Championships, the Tri-State Championships, and ended up winning the U.S. Nationals as well. Ended up not only winning the Nationals, but awarded for the best lifter. So that was in 2000, and that was like the pinnacle. After there was nothing else to win.
Okay.
During this period of time, my diet has always been clean, so in each one of these forays, people would mistake me for a bodybuilder. I had no clue about bodybuilding, but I looked the part. So after 2000, upon constant prompting from other friends, I decided to venture into bodybuilding.
And then that's when you decided in 2002 to step on the stage and take my title from me.
I'm so sorry, Andy. My most humble apology. I didn't know you were competing.
Well, you know, apology is definitely accepted. You know, I mean, you know.
You're making them apologize to you.
I'm not making them. I'm not making them.
You're taking it, though. You're just accepting the apology.
You know what it is? Mr. Ross and myself, we speak like outside of the radio. We speak outside of the different competitions. And, you know.
You can't accept his apology.
Sure I can. Sure I can. The man beat me. I'm holding a grudge until right now, you know.
The grudge has been lifted. After all these years.
After all these years.
The grudge is now lifted. Hugh, did you know that this man held a grudge against you since 2002?
Well, it's an eye-opener tonight. I came on the radio.
You please don't listen to a word Brian is saying. You know me way better than that. Okay, when is your next competition?
Well, my last competition, as you know, was representing the U.S. in Europe at the Miss Universe, which I won.
Right.
And, thereafter, I'm looking to see what's next. I am not sure as to what next, but what I have been doing is maintaining myself within striking distance, and by that I mean I am just 4 to 6 weeks away from any show that I choose to enter.
He's waiting for you to compete again so that he can enter. I think that's what he just said.
I'm done. I'm done. As long as
I think hold on, Brian. Since you have put that in words for him, repeat that.
Hugh said he's waiting for Bricks to enter his next show so that he can decide which show to enter.
That's not what I heard. What I heard was he's 4 to 5 days out from any show that he chooses to do. Mr. Ross has no intentions of beating me again, so
he'll apologize. Maybe even before he does it. Andre, I'm sorry.
Oh, is that what's gonna happen?
In case I beat you.
Is that what's gonna happen? Okay. I'll tell you what. With this next question, the way he answers it will determine whether or not I do decide to step back on stage. Because, in all honesty, right, the thought has been in my mind, and you know this, Brian, because we speak about this, outside of the radio. Mr. Ross, walk us through a typical diet day for you.
Okay. My first meal.
Yes.
And I should add, so that you can understand why it evolves that way. My hours of work, my actual job is 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
So my first meal is approx 4:30 in the morning, and basically it's a protein shake along with I will either have some oatmeal with that or a banana if I'm in a rush.
Okay.
Second meal is approx 2.5 hours later, and that's a tuna sandwich. Basically whole wheat, maybe 2 slices and 2 tins of tuna, and green tea minus milk. And then I may take in some added multivitamins. Mid-morning, basically I may have fruit along with a protein bar.
Right.
Midday, I will go for baked sweet potato and chicken breast. Mid-afternoon, it's either or. If it's a major body part, I will have another serving of oatmeal and protein prior to training, if I'm doing legs or back. If not, I can actually skip that and go straight on into training and go straight into my post-training shake, which is actually frozen since the morning and left in my truck, so that immediately upon exiting the gym, I am having it nicely thawed out and ready to go.
Right.
By the time I get home and unwind and having showered and all of that, an hour after I'm ready for my meal, and basically that comprises of vegetables and any meat kind, either fish, chicken, or at least twice a week I try to get steak.
Okay.
If I'm up late, I take another shake in water.
Just a shake in water?
That's it.
All right. How do you feel about this new form of dieting that's out now? Because when I hear what you're doing for diets, it's basically very simple. It's very old school, but it works for you. Now you have all this new stuff out, like Ezekiel bread. You and I know it in a more simpler form as manna. You have all these various stimulants that people are taking to help speed up their metabolism. You have a lot of people right now doing all this protein yogurt and all this extra stuff. How do you feel about that?
The majority of them has their respective assets. Basically, I look at them as variations, varieties to spice things up. Basically, one needs to read the fine print, and if it is not in keeping with what your goals are, then regardless of how tasty it may be, right, I think it should not be part of your regime, because the entire concept is not to eat for taste but for nutritional value.
Okay. I like that. All right. Well, listen, I got to cut to commercial break, but when I come back, we're going to dive more into this, and we're going to continue to pick your brain, and maybe I might give my answer as to whether I'll compete again or not. So I need you to stay tuned as he laughs at me. Brian's going to stay tuned. Super producer Amala's going to stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. We have the incomparable Hugh Ross. We'll be right back.
Hi there, this is Jerry Zatkoff from the Nutrition Scoop. Where do you get your nutrition information from? The TV? Friends? Or maybe from the front of the package? I'll dish out the latest news on nutrition, the food industry, and research related to health and wellness. Find out what's real, what's true, and what you need to know to stay healthy in our toxic food environment. I'll tell you what to eat, when to eat it, where to buy it, and how to cook it. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on FTNS.
FTNS has been telling you to focus, envision your goal to get inspired, but we know it's not that easy. Introducing Top of Your Game, inspirational stories and tools for personal transformation. Discover the power of Avatar as host Ariella Sarai interviews people who have actually made their dreams a reality. Discover what they did to make it through their challenges and achieve a new level of success. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on FTNS. Top of Your Game. Unlock the power of you. Boomers Rock. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Join your host, baby boomer Tom Matt, as he shares with you his inspirational recent personal transformation from couch potato to getting his master's degree to bodybuilder to personal trainer. You don't have to be a boomer to get inspired. Tune in weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on FTNS.co. Get up, get out, keep rocking. Life starts now. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out the Just Big Show, hosted by Vincent DeZenzo and Matt Rose. These guys are so large you can actually hear them sweat through the radio. Tune in for tips on how to get massive yourself. Plus, you'll hear interviews with some of the strongest athletes on the planet. So make sure not to miss Just Big, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on FTNS. Need FTNS on the go? There's an app for that. Download the FTNS app for your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch now. FTNS, world's first fitness radio, will keep you moving.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Body Shop. I am your host, Andre Brick Sinclair, along with Mr. Brian Canone. You know what? I should let Brian do it.
Come on, Brian. Do it.
What do you want me to do?
Go on, do it.
You gotta do it with me.
Well, go ahead.
Okay.
Do it. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. That's gonna be in the commercial for the show. That's gonna be the clip.
Trademarking
That's what's
that.
gonna start off as.
I'm suing everybody that says yes more than once. On the line, we have Mr. Universe, Mr. Hugh Ross. But before we get back to Hugh, hey, Brian, I just received an email, okay?
Yep.
It's from a good friend of mine, Stephen Katsari. He wants me to remind you, do not forget to include Monica Brandt and WBFF posters. When he looked the last time, there wasn't a advertisement about her or the pro poster thing.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
You know, I'm just passing on the message. You know what I mean?
Let them know. Write her. Don't write me. She got to send me the picture.
Hey,
All right.
Stephanie,
Steve,
you heard it here, okay?
Steve, if you're listening.
All right. Oh, no, he's listening.
Yeah.
Oh, he's listening. He heard you. Don't worry about that, you know? I'm not a parent. I don't repeat everything. Okay, let's get back to Mr. Hugh Ross on the phone. Now, Hugh, you had a DVD out called Access Granted. Hey, you. Okay, there we go. All right. I got to make sure you're still there with me, you know. It might be time for you to eat or something.
It's all right.
Walk us through what some of what was included or was going on behind the scenes of that DVD shot.
It's a combination of clips put together. It gave you a little peep into my lifestyle, where it all started. You have a clip from way back in the village of my origin, then into peep of me in the military, weaponry, parachuting. Then we moved on to another sport that I was pretty much involved in, martial arts. There are clips of that as well. And then we moved right into the sporting aspect, which entailed powerlifting, and wrapped it up with bodybuilding. And in conclusion, we touched on some of the key exercises that I incorporate in my program and demonstrations of same.
Okay. Can I explain this DVD?
Please do.
Okay.
Please do.
All right. This was the third DVD that I ever produced for an athlete.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah. Why are you trying to talk sexy? Speak louder.
Trying to think of the story.
No, speak louder. Come on. Come on. You're killing me over here.
This is the third DVD that we put together, and basically Hugh had to make a collection of all the things and go through his kind of his story about coming from Guyana to the United States, having all of this military experience, trying to put together all of his pictures from when he first started lifting till now, explaining the story. And we tried to do it a few times. We actually, I set Hugh up in a room with the camera on him and walked out and said, "Here, tell your life story." We come back, we're like, "Okay, what can we do here?" So it's very hard to do. If you try to actually just film yourself and just talk without really a script and know what you're saying, it's so hard to do. So what we did is we reshot the whole thing.
Okay.
And it was really cool how we did it. We went in the gym when the gym was closed. We set it up with all these color gel lights throughout the whole gym.
Okay.
I brought a smoke machine and fogged up the entire gym. It looked like he's inside like Battlestar Galactica.
Oh boy!
You know, it just looks really cool, like something you'd see on WWE or something. You know what I mean? It's really high tech, very very cool. Put a lot of time into production of it. We also brought in Alicia Marie to sit there and do the interview for Hugh. So, you know, we went over some questions for her, and she went through it, and he was able to tell his story in a better way. It's you know, where it's more of a natural conversation, and it really came out really well.
Okay.
Through there, we broke away into the different segments, showing some of his military pictures. There's one part where he was climbing up a tree in Guyana, took a coconut, chopped it down, brought it, whacked it in half with a machete.
That's right. That's
right. Some coconut juice.
No, it's coconut water. It's coconut water.
All right, well.
Coconut water. You gotta make sure you get that.
Well, it's getting popular now. Everybody's selling coconut water. You see Britney Spears bought into the coconut water now?
You know
What's it called? Armal, you were drinking it that day. What's the coconut water?
What's it called?
Yeah.
Basically, it's the juice from a young coconut.
The new one that's here in the States, it's blowing up. All the celebrities are drinking it.
Oh, I've heard about the thing, but I didn't know that they have a name for it.
Yeah, there's a few brands, but there's celebrities getting behind this stuff. Hugh, aren't you like a spokesperson for some coconut water or down in Guyana?
You see where he goes with it?
I think I'm for real. He's on billboards down in Guyana. You drive around, Hugh Ross is everywhere. He's in the action movies. He's everywhere. The president of Guyana stops everything, has a parade for him, throws on this stuff. But Hugh, Hugh has made leaps and bounds in where he's come from. You know, to be in this small town where he didn't have running water in his house. He had a well in the backyard, you know, and this was part of the video series, you know, of Access Granted. Really goes into Hugh's his life and what he's accomplished. There were a few stories he didn't want to bring up and talk about, and I thought were just very entertaining.
Such as
one of his first jobs when he came here to the United States. Hugh, will you tell that story?
No.
No? You saying no, Hugh? No, come on, man.
No. Let Brian tell the story.
No.
One of Andre, I must tell you this. One of Brian's hobbies is putting me on the spot.
You know, he does the same thing to me, Hugh. He does the same thing. I will be in the studio, and I'm trying to gather my thoughts. The on-air light comes on. He goes, "Okay, say this." What?
Brian knows I don't consume alcohol, yet he constantly offers to buy me alcohol.
Oh man!
I'd say when we go to some of the shows, it is so tense, and everybody's worried about how they're going to do and what it's like. One of the fun things, and you know this, we kind of started this little ritual that we have, where it's like, where are we going when it's done? Where are we going to eat?
That's right. That's
where
all
are we
I
going
care
to
about.
smoke cigars?
I need that too.
Have a nice glass of wine,
right?
And sit in a hot tub.
Well, I'm in the hot tub with a young lady. I don't know what Brian's doing in the hot tub. Let's make sure we clear that up.
Just a lot of fun, man. Just having fun, and just get.
Brian introduced me to the hot tub. Brian was that was embarrassing.
See, Brian's something else, man. Brian is something else. You know what? Listen, let me give a shout out to Dwayne Michael Black. He's listening. He likes to know where everything is going. He's looking forward to the Worlds coming up on August 27th. So I want to give a shout out to you, Dwayne. Thank you for listening. Okay, Hugh, aside from Brian putting you on the spot, right? Walk our listeners of the Body Shop through some of the things that you like to do for fun.
Okay, I guess top of the list is shooting. I love shooting.
Shooting what?
He likes shooting guns.
No, I know shooting guns, but what is he shooting at? What are you shooting at?
Targets.
Not people, Andre.
See, that's what I like doing with you. Okay.
Well, it's a whole, I don't want to launch into that. Shooting at a target, it's a big difference between shooting at a target and shooting at a live person, Andre, but we're not going to go there.
Exactly.
Now, outside of that, I still love parachuting.
Okay.
When I want solitude, I do some fishing. And every opportunity that's available to me, I love motorcycling as well.
Nice.
You're asking an action hero what he likes to do for fun.
Well,
he likes to shoot guns, jump out of helicopters without a parachute.
Right.
He likes to go shark fishing.
See how he's treating you right here, Hugh? You see how he's treating you, right? I just want to make sure you're getting all of this.
I'm just saying, you got to realize this question. He likes to jump off mountains and jump off bridges and climb up sides of mountains and buildings and.
Okay. All right.
This is Hugh Ross.
Yeah, hey.
Well, you get back to the story and ask him about his first job.
Okay. Hugh, I can't let you off the hook, man, so I really need to know about your first job.
Okay. I was job hunting. A friend of mine, we served in the military together. He told me that he somehow or the other found his way as a chef in this restaurant. And he told me, Hugh, this is easy. You can do this, man. We're going to create a resume for you saying that you were a chef.
Okay.
Yeah, are you sure? He says, okay. So I turned up. He brought the boss. He spoke so much about me that this man thought that I was a highly accomplished chef. So I wasn't prepared for the fact that the man was going off somewhere on vacation and handed me all the keys to his restaurant and told me I was in charge from the next morning.
Okay, now, can you cook?
Hey.
Cook. Huh?
He could cook, but not in a restaurant.
Okay.
Tell him what you did.
Now, I turned up there at 4 a.m. in the morning to start feeling my way around and figure things out. I saw these huge machines. Well, now I know that they're rotisseries, right? But I had no idea what they were for, so I walked around them a couple of times trying to figure the thing out. I knew that the chickens had to go in there, right? So
Okay.
The chickens were all marinated and ready. I saw the pole that you had to put them on, but then when I stuck the things on the pole, they weren't turning. I didn't know that they had something that you had, the chicken stayed stationary, so I strapped every chicken on individually with some wires, right? Should see me sweating there to tie up like about 30 chickens, okay? I got that going, found the way out to light up this thing, and I'm at the back busy getting all the stuff ready, and the chickens are turning and cooking. I peeped again, they're still white after now. I peeped again, the thing would not cook, so I said this thing needs more fire, so I turned up the fire. The next thing I knew, I'm down at the back, and there's a serious set of smoke drifting down to the back. By the time I ran through the smoke and came up front, I saw 30 black chickens.
Tell them what you did with the chickens.
You see, Brian, you're not a friend.
No, he's not your friend. You see, make Brian apologize.
Right after the show, he's going to call my phone. I'm not picking it up.
I started looking frantically all over, so I packed all the chickens away in some black bags.
You ran down the street with them.
So there I was, when I ran out to the bag, the fire department to the door, they probably thought I was a perpetrator. And no, it's all right. Where you going with that bag over your shoulder?
You put all the burnt chicken in the backpack.
Wait to smoke away. Get my chickens out in this black bag, and the fire department is trying to stop me, thinking that I'm there stealing and breaking and entering. Anyhow, I finally got through them, and I found the way of getting rid of the chicken down the block. I came back. We cleared the smoke out. The fire department finally left, and then I had to start all over again. But this time I put a stool by the rotisserie and sat in front of it until the chickens were done.
He sat right in front of them watching.
See, Brian is not a nice guy.
No, he's not. Hey, I told you, it's all a hoax with Brian. It's all a hoax. He's gonna wait until you get on the radio, and then that's it. He's gonna bash you. You gotta see him. He's over here turning red because he's laughing so hard at you.
Do you guys want another break?
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
Oh man, see, Brian is not your friend. I'm just trying to tell you that. Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do, okay? We're going to cut the commercial. I'm gonna give Brian a chance to catch his breath. All right, we're gonna come back. Hopefully, Hugh Ross can give us some good recipes of what he actually can cook, because we know chicken is not your specialty right now. All right. So you stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this break.
FTNS, where fitness comes to life.
The fitness industry is beginning a transformation unlike ever before. It is more important than ever to be innovative and creative in order to connect with your customers. FTNS, world's first fitness radio, is here to help you do it. FTNS advertising packages are designed for high-impact, high-frequency reinforcement of your message. Over 70 million people in the U.S. listen to internet radio each month. FTNS targets fitness-minded people that you want to reach but have never been able to effectively target before. Radio advertising is like word of mouth because it comes from a friend, the listener station. Internet radio is brand building. Positioning your brand through a concept or an attitude is easy to achieve personally, frequently, and economically on radio. Let's partner together to get your message delivered to the hearts and minds of the FTNS listeners. For more information, please email marketing at ftns.co. Boomers Rock, weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Join your host, baby boomer Tom Matt, as he shares with you his inspirational recent personal transformation from couch potato to getting his master's degree to bodybuilder to personal trainer. You You don't have to be a boomer to get inspired. Tune in weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on ftns.co. Get up, get out, keep rocking. Life starts now. Need FTNS on the go? There's an app for that. Download the FTNS app for your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch now. FTNS, world's first fitness radio, will keep you moving.
Yes. Hugh, Andre took a little bathroom break. Are you there? Hello.
I'm here.
All right. Yeah, so getting back to a little bit serious about some of your accomplishments and all the things that you've done and the DVD and what have you been up to? What's your workout like now?
4 days weekly. Each body part once weekly. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, weekends off. Basically, I maintain a body fat percentage below 10 all year round. I try very diligently to at least add 2 to 3 pounds of muscle mass, solid muscle mass annually. That's pretty much it. I don't generally do cardio until I am like about 6 weeks out from a show, and that depends on what I see in the mirror.
No cardio at all, right? Right up to the show, almost?
That's right. If I feel a bit sluggish, basically what I do is step up my training intensity by cutting back on rest periods and increasing the repetitions, speed things up a bit.
So you go work out after work, right? Is that when you go?
Correct.
Okay. So you do one major body part a day, 4 days a week?
Correct.
Okay. And you work out for about how long do you work out each session?
90 minutes.
90 minutes?
Thereabout.
Okay. Hugh, earlier you mentioned that you really don't do cardio. I want to know, do you feel as though your powerlifting background and the fact that you was able to maintain that size, maintain that thickness with your muscle maturity now, do you feel as though that basis is what set the ground rules for you that you don't need to do cardio?
I do not think so. Basically, we all do know that in terms of your fitness, heart health, the whole nine, it's something that's recommended.
Right.
Then your diet is the key factor. Basically, the input of cardio as it relates to contest purpose to assist in lowering your body fat percentage.
Okay.
And if one is already pretty active as being a part of their lifestyle, and you're actually doing your weight training appropriately, and your body fat percentage is where you want it to be, then added cardio may basically be counterproductive to what you're doing in terms of lifting. So as it relates to me, I don't see the necessity to do that. If, like I was indicating earlier, if I feel a bit sluggish, I will cut down to moderate poundage for a week or so, and during that time increase my repetitions and cut back drastically on my rest period between sets. So the entire weight training session is actually converted more instead of anaerobic into semi-aerobic.
Okay. What percentage of body fat do you typically stay at prior to a contest?
Well, as some people want to term it off-season, it borders around, I would say, 7, 8, thereabout.
Okay. And when you step on stage? You got to laugh at that one, huh? Come on.
Anything below 4. Anything below 4, depending on what the show is and who I anticipate coming up against. That's how tight I will take it down to.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, and I don't think it's ever been asked of you in any media outlet or circuit that you've been into. Is there any competitor out there that you would like to compete either with or against?
It's a no-holds-barred situation for me. Basically, what I would prefer, all things being equal, is for there to be an even turf. But we all do know how things are now. Seemingly, you go to natural shows and guys are not playing with a level deck.
That's right.
I ventured into areas like in Europe, and that was even more appalling. I mean, almost shocking. But basically, I just kept reminding myself it was my choice to go and compete there.
Right.
I just decided to work so much harder, and I felt, I believed in myself, and I figured that as a natural athlete, it is their business what they want to do, but I know that I'm 100% natural, and I know that with hard work and dedication that it's well within my capability, and I put that to the task, and I'm happy to report that I was successful.
Right. Okay. Do you consider yourself a role model?
That's a very, very big pair of shoes to fill. Basically, it is not something that I call upon myself, but in certain areas that I go to, it is something that is imposed upon me. I do not shy away from it because I do not have a problem with it per se, but it is a major responsibility.
Right. The reason I ask you that is because I know within the natural realm, you have a lot of guys that look up to you. Like when I introduce you to my friend Isaac Moore, you and Isaac, exchange numbers. He was just amazed by how humble you were, as well as your faith in God. And, he reached out to you. You reached out, you got him ready for a competition, and he was just like, listen, that man is like my idol, and he really, really respects you. When I asked you that question, it wasn't like a random question. It was something that I wanted to know has ever been posed to you. Now, I want to ask you this. What do you feel about athletes who are not playing with a full, a level playing field, as you put it, versus an athlete like yourself and the other athletes getting, the sponsorships and endorsements? What do you feel about that?
I've accepted it a long time now. Basically, the end result will justify my choice. I always believe in that. The race is not for the swiftest, but he who can endure to the end. And it's already out there. You notice, if you're following very carefully, you see some guys, they're pretty much dominant, but that only lasts for a very short period of time, and then they just fade.
Right.
And nobody seems to have answers as to what has become of them. I wouldn't want to suggest or even venture into saying what I probably do know. But like I'm saying, basically, I don't think it is a wise idea to jeopardize one's health for a brief period in the limelight for such a purpose.
I definitely agree with you. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Ross, we are running out of time. Let me ask you just one last question, though. Is there anybody out there that you would like to thank?
He's sitting next to you.
I like that. All right, we'll talk off the air.
Brian has been a very major driving force in just about everything I do. And Brian, I humbly would like to openly thank you for everything that you have done for me.
No, thanks, Hugh. You've always been, a really good friend, ever since I met you. So it's been a pleasure.
That's very good. That's very good. I need a tissue. You guys are about to make me cry up in here. Such a hallmark moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Hugh Ross. Hugh, thank you for calling into the Body Shop.
You better come down here next time. All right, you're taking the ride to. Then we're going out.
All right, while he does that, I want to leave everybody with these parting words. Success breeds envy. At the end of the day, the best revenge you can have against a jealous person is to become even more successful. You keep God first and everything else will fall into place. This is Bricks. I'm signing off from Mr. Hugh Ross, Mr. Brian Canone, super producer Ermal. We got to go, but we'll see you when you see you.
Thank you, man.
FTNS, where fitness comes to life.